Senegal still laughs at France every 4 years. Every time the World Cup draw pairs the two nations, the same clips resurface Bouba Diop's quiet goal, the players collapsing on each other, the stadium erupting. Grown men in Dakar, Abidjan, Bamako and Yaoundé cry as if it happened yesterday. But why did France's defeat resonate so deeply across an entire continent? It wasn't just a football match. It was a statement. A post-colonial echo on a pitch, where a former colony confronted its former master. Senegal's relationship with France spanned centuries. From the 17th century, the French established trading posts and settlements along the Senegalese coast: Saint Louis, Gorée, Dakar, Rufisque. Among these, the 4 communes were unique. Inhabitants could gain French citizenship, vote in French elections, and enjoy privileges unimaginable to the rural majority. This gave the impression of Senegal as France's most assimilated colony, yet this status applied to only a small urban elite. The majority of Senegalese remained subject to colonial law, land expropriation, and social inequalities. Thousands of Senegalese men served as tirailleurs sénégalais, fighting in both world wars. Their sacrifices were immense, yet most returned home to a society that treated them as second-class citizens. Decades later, the post-independence ties to France persisted. The CFA franc tied Senegal economically to Paris. French companies dominated infrastructure and commerce, and political influence lingered. Against this backdrop, Senegal's victory over France in 2002 carried profound symbolism. It was a rare moment when the subaltern on the global stage could look their former colonizer in the eye and claim triumph. Senegal's squad in 2002 was a mosaic of talent, resilience, and stories shaped by hardship. El Hadji Diop, 21, had traveled to France as a teenager to pursue his dream. His mother had sold her wedding gold to fund the journey. He carried that sacrifice every step of the way. Salif Dao, the midfielder, was the son of a fisherman from Kébémer, a man who had never seen a television. Every tackle, every run, was also a tribute to the man who labored silently back home. Henry Camara, scarred from childhood games on concrete streets, had fought for every inch of space to reach the international stage. Papa Bouba Diop, towering at 1.94 meters, the midfield colossus, had spent years studying accounting in Senegal while nurturing his dream of football greatness. Known as the wardrobe for his size and presence, he moved with quiet elegance, always measured, never showy until that day. And above them all, Bruno Metsu, their French coach, walked the corridors of the hotel in Seoul the night before the match. Born in Dunkirk, a journeyman midfielder in France's lower divisions, Metsu had embraced Senegal, learning Wolof, eating thiboudien with players' families, respecting local customs, and forging bonds of trust. Whispering in Wolof, Dama beg sai kanam, I want to be proud tomorrow. Metsu's methods were revolutionary. He nurtured confidence, cultural pride, and belief. He created a team not of mechanics but of warriors with heart anchored in identity and trust. The 31st of May 2002 Seoul World Cup Stadium. The morning air was thick with anticipation. The team bus wove through streets lined with flags and fans who had crossed oceans to witness history. Inside, there was silence, heavy with concentration, prayer, and unspoken tension. France arrived first, world champions. Zidane, Henry, Trezeguet, Vieira, Deschamps, the names carried weight, prestige, and expectation. Calm, confident, assured. Then came Senegal. Green jerseys lying rampant. The stadium erupted. Tens of thousands of Senegalese voices, some traveling halfway across the globe, reverberated through the stands. Every cheer carried decades of history, pride, and hope. Kickoff. The first 10 minutes were terror. France pressed relentlessly. Tony Silva, Senegal's goalkeeper, flung himself to tip volleys, dived to stop headers. Senegalese legs felt heavy under pressure, yet Metsu's silent authority kept them focused. In the 30th minute, the improbable unfolded. El Hadji Fadiga, lightning quick and audacious, dribbled past Dizeli, sending a hopeful ball into the box. Barthez rushed, misjudged, and the ball dropped at Papa Bouba Diop's feet. With a quiet stretch of his toe, Diop poked the ball into the net. He didn't leap. He didn't scream. He laid his shirt on the turf like an offering. His teammates swarmed him, a tangle of green jerseys, arms, and joy. France pressed, but Senegal held. 1-0. History had been made. Senegal did not stop there. 1-1 versus Denmark. Salif Dao thunders a long-range goal. 3-3 versus Uruguay. Camara scores twice, Diop again. Twice Senegal comes from behind. They topped their group, a first for an African debutant team. Second round, Sweden extra time, golden goal. Henry Camara curls a shot into the top corner. Senegal advances. Quarterfinal, Turkey. A golden goal ends their journey, but not their legend. Senegal has shattered expectations, inspiring millions across Africa and the diaspora. Dakar erupted. Streets overflowed with celebration. Radios blared updates across Sandaga Market. President Abdoulaye Wade praised the team. Senegal had proven that Africa could compete, with skill, courage, and heart. The legacy of Senegal 2002 is immense. European clubs began scouting African players with renewed respect. Young players copied Fadiga's step-overs and Diop's measured poise. The tournament redefined perceptions. African teams were no longer physical underdogs, but technical, strategic, and fearless. Bruno Metsu passed away in 2013, Papa Bouba Diop in 2020, Aliou Cisse, the weeping captain in 2002, now coaches the national team. Senegalese football stands taller today because of them. On the 31st of May 2002, Senegal didn't just beat France. They reminded a continent, the days of bowing are over. Senegal 2002 transcends football. It was about hope, courage, and identity. Every goal, every pass, every defensive tackle was a declaration. Africa belongs. Senegal's story inspired Ghana in 2010, Morocco in 2022, and countless children across the continent who saw themselves in green jerseys, dreaming, believing. The memory is sacred. Ask anyone over 30 where they were when Diop scored, they will tell you the street, the radio, the cousin's shoulder they cried on. The clips still play at weddings, birthdays, and national celebrations. If you thought that Senegal 2002 was just another football story, it is not. It is a story of triumph against odds and dignity reclaimed. If you resonate with Senegal's courage, hit the subscribe button now and let's keep sharing their courage that defied history.